Hi there. My name is Jennifer Dixon with Thrive Yoga and Wellness and Thrive Online. And today we are going to do a sort of quick flow. It's going to be a high intensity, low impact yoga inspired workout that will help to get your heart rate up. It'll help to burn some calories, build mobility, but on the other hand, we will also be building some strength. So it's a strength and flexibility workout that is all inspired by yoga. So the other thing I do want to mention, this will be incorporating a new drill that is all about the booty and the core. I did a quick tutorial on it that I will link to in the notes below. And it's basically where we will be combining half moon pose and warrior three or airplane pose. And so we're going to incorporate that particular exercise, those drills in today's flow, so your bottoms will be talking to you in the best possible way. So before we get started, let's go ahead and come to our mats. You shouldn't need any equipment. However, if you do know that you struggle with balance for your half moon pose, go ahead and grab a yoga block. So if you don't have a yoga block, that's okay. Just be kind of close to a wall just in case. I love to practice near a wall even now. Well, one, because my house is pretty small, but two, it's just like a nice security blanket, right? So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started in child's pose. Knees together, hips back towards the heels, hands pressing into the mat, forehead relaxing down and pressing into the mat. So let's activate those hands, pretending to draw the fingertips closer to the body, activating along the back parts of the arms, the shoulders, maybe even into the upper back. Draw the belly in and start to think about your ujjayi breathing. That's your deep inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Sounds a little bit like Darth Vader. The other good thing about it, it's wintertime when this is being recorded, and so that ujjayi breathing helps to keep the nasal passages clear, even in this yucky time of year. Now we're going to come forward onto our fingertips. Meet me on your forearms for a little bit of puppy pose. So this is stretching out our shoulders, getting into the lats, a little bit into the chest, and it's also a bit of a back bend. Keeping the hips up towards the air, up into the air. The toes and the feet are together. Hands are reaching forward. If you want to intensify this stretch a little bit, you can bring your chin to the mat. That just helps to get into the upper back and the shoulders a bit more. For 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go ahead, coming forward onto our bellies. Bring your arms out in front like a Y, so not like a T. It's a slightly different stretch when we do the pec opening when your arms are out like a T. So now they're more like we're doing the YMCA dance. Arm is out, the right arm is out the front right corner of the mat. The left arm comes over and helps to push you up and over, just like we would be doing if we were making a T with the right arm. But when it's at this angle, it helps to get into the pec minor a little bit more, which helps when you stretch this area out. It helps to improve your back bends, believe it or not. Let's do this for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Coming back to your belly, bring that left hand out to the front left corner of the mat. Right hand comes in, pushes you over to stretch out that left pec minor. So if you don't feel anything, maybe you shimmy your left arm back a little bit. But again, we don't want it to be out like a T, because then that's just going to be stretching the pec major. We want it to be a little bit more like a Y, because that's going to get in here to the basically kind of right on the inner part where your shoulder, your underarm meets your chest. I feel this stretch a little bit more there, which is chronically tight on me. This feels awesome. All right, let's come back to your belly. Come back to your forearms for a nice little cobra pose, relaxing the glutes if you can while still pressing the pubic bone, pelvic bone into the mat. Don't let your chin come up too high. Crown of the head still reaches up as we let the chest fall down. And if you want to intensify this, you can straighten those arms while still letting the chest kind of sink down a little bit more. Another thing that you can do to intensify this stretch is to bring those heels together and lift them up. This kind of activates and gets those quads in a little bit more. Remember, try to keep the glutes as relaxed as possible. Pelvic bones pressing into the mat, shoulders down and away from the ears. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Come on down. Plug those toes into the mat. Bring those fingertips in line with the chest. We're going to pretend a big 2x4 is on our back. Suck the belly in. Keep the tailbone long. Pull those shoulders down and away from the ear. And one long line of energy. Push yourself up into plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finally, our very first downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk the dog out if you need to. Your gaze is towards your belly button, and if that doesn't feel great, go ahead and look in between your knees wherever it feels good, relaxing the neck. If you want, you can bend or straighten one leg, then the other, just warming up the body. Keep the belly in. Now we're going to walk those hands back to the feet. Soften both knees, hands grabbing opposite elbows, and let the head hang heavy. This should feel pretty good. Keep the knees as soft as they need to be, especially if you have tight hammies. I like to bend the knees so much that my quads are on my ribs and chest. That helps to relax the low back a little bit more with the chin slightly tucked to create space for the neck. And then we're going to push down into the big toes, slowly round up one vertebra at a time, and I'll meet you at standing at the back of your mat. Let's do maybe 1 or 2 sun salutations. So inhale, those hands are going to come up overhead. On the exhale, soften the knees, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. And on the exhale, walk those hands out to your high plank. Hold it here, inhale. Exhale, pushing yourself forward, coming to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job for that first vinyasa. Bring that right foot up to the air, bend that right knee, reach that right heel towards your left shoulder, stretching out the right side body. For 3, 2, 1, straightening that right leg, bring that right knee to your nose. Inhale, bring the hips forward. Exhale, shift that right leg back, set it down. Left foot comes up into the air, bend that left knee, reach that left heel for your right shoulder. You can gaze at that left foot if you'd like to. Straightening that left leg, bringing that left knee towards your nose as well as your hips forward to try to get them lower. Inhaling here, exhale, shoot that left leg back. Set it down. 1 inhale, 1 exhale. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk those feet forward. Inhaling, halfway lift, the belly comes in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Reach those hands up high. Exhale, hands to your side, mountain pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Move your hands back to a high plank. Hold it here. Inhale. Exhale, push your weight forward, coming down to your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Once again, raise that right foot up, bend the right knee, reach in the right heel towards your left underarm while keeping those shoulders square if you can. Belly stays in. Inhaling, straighten that right leg. Bring that right knee to your right underarm if you can. Hold it here. Shoot it back. Set it down. Left foot comes up into the air. Bend that left knee. Reach the left heel towards the right shoulder. Keeping those shoulders square if you can. It helps to intensify the stretch for that left side body. Straightening that left leg. Go ahead, bring that left knee to your left underarm. And holding it here, squeezing those left side obliques. Shoot it back. Set that left foot down. Go ahead, 1 inhale here, 1 exhale. Inhaling here, we're going to look forward. Exhale brings both of those feet forward. Halfway lift on the next inhale and fold. Coming back all the way up. Roll up. Be really compassionate to the back. Reach the hands up high. Hands to your heart center. And let's do a sun B. Inhaling, come into your chair pose. Sit down low. Belly stays in. No cheerleader bottom, so keep that tailbone tucked ever so slightly as you reach your hands up high. 1 more breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, coming to your high plank. Hold it here. Inhale, exhale, lower down to your chaturanga or low plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Go ahead, ground that left heel down, left toes facing the front left corner of the mat. As you pick up the right foot, bring it in between the hands. Join me in a warrior one. Sinking into that right knee till almost it's at 90 degrees if you can. Reaching the hands up high. One long line of energy from your hips stacked underneath your shoulders. Hands reaching up from the shoulders. One more breath. Plant the hands down. Come to the left toes. Bring the right toes back to meet the left. Take your vinyasa. That's the high plank, low plank. Inhaling upward facing dog. Exhaling downward facing dog. From here, we're going to ground down that right heel, right toes facing the front right corner of the mat as we pick up the left foot, set it down in between the hands, and come up into your warrior one on the left. This time, we're trying to bring the right hip forward, stacking the shoulders on top of the hips, hands reaching straight up from the shoulders. Crown of the head's reaching up tall, not the chin towards the ceiling, top of the head towards the ceiling. One more breath. On the exhale, plant your hands down, coming to the right toes, bring the left toes back, move through your vinyasa. Remember, you don't have to do any of these vinyasas. You can go straight to down dog. You can add extra push-ups. You can come to child's pose. Catch your breath. One more. Inhale, bring that right foot up again. Bend that right knee, reaching that right heel towards the left shoulder. Maybe we come up to the right fingertips. Maybe the right hand comes to your heart center, holding this. Core and balance work. Plant the right hand down. Bring that right foot forward to your nose. Right knee to your nose. Plant that right foot down at the front of the mat. Left heel plants down at the back of the mat. Joining me in warrior one on the right. Inhaling here. Exhale. Next inhale is going to reach your hands up high, and then they're going to go exhale behind you, pull them down and away. I like to pull my hands down and my forehead forward for a nice stretch along the back of my neck. Inhaling, releasing the hands, coming back, warrior one. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Inhaling, pushing off, we're going to come into a warrior three, hands at heart center. Very first balancing pose here. Those left feet are working really hard, even though it's not pressing into anything. You're imagining that they're pressing into the wall behind you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant those hands down. Bring that left foot to the left hip, left bottom. Cross it behind the right, and let's squat down for a nice little curtsy lunge. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raising that right leg up. Transitioning back into your airplane pose. That's almost like a deadlift action, right? Grounding that left foot down, warrior one. And then planting the hands down. Come into those left toes. Take your vinyasa. We're going to bring those left feet up really, really, really high. Bend the left knee right shoulder is square to the left shoulder. Left heel's reaching for that right shoulder. Now, we're going to try to come up to the left fingertips. We're going to try to bring the left hand to your heart center, balancing this here, and then plant that left hand down. Go ahead, bring that left knee to your nose, and then left foot forward. Join me in warrior one on the left. Don't forget to breathe. Let's do that nice stretch again. Bring those hands behind your back. Pull them down and away. This time, if you'd like, you can have a little bit of a back bend with your chin inching ever so slightly forward, but don't do it so much that it creaks in the back or the neck. Feeling a nice stretch along the right hip flexor. Releasing the hands. Hands come up high and then to your heart center. Big inhale here. Exhale, pushing off. Coming to your airplane pose. Warrior three, airplane with your hands at your heart center. Your choice, balancing here on the left foot. Right foot is pressing into the imaginary wall behind you. Low bellies in and up. We're trying to keep those hips square. Eventually they will be. Go ahead, ground those hands down. Bend that right knee. Right heel towards your glutes. Now bring the right knee behind the left knee and squat it down here. Keep that right heel up high. That's like extra credit for your glutes. For 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, extend that right leg out, straightening the left leg. Join me back into your warrior 3, hands at heart center, belly is in. And now we are going to ground that right heel down, warrior 1. And then hands plant, take your vinyasa. Catch your breath here. Inhaling, look between your hands. Exhale, let's froggy jump to the front of the mat into your malasana squat. Whoo, talk about a hip opener. So if your heels aren't on the ground yet, go ahead and take a slightly wider stance and see if that helps to get your heels down. If they're still not down, you can roll your mat up and plant your heels on the rolled up mat. That might be just enough support. For you avid arm balancers, if you want to practice your crow, you're going to plant your hands down, shoulders width distance apart. Lift your hips up, plant your knees high onto the triceps. Come up to your tippy toes as you plant those knees as high up onto the triceps as you possibly can. Look forward, lean forward. Maybe one foot comes up off the mat, set it down. Maybe the other foot comes up off the mat, set it down. Maybe both feet come off the mat and you're holding your crow. Good job, good job. Set everything down, coming back to your malasana squat. Bring your hands out, making a non-violent gun, shoulders down and away from the ears. Belly is nice and engaged. Squeeze your butt muscles, your glutes together a whole bunch, and come to standing. Whew, shake it out. Now we're going to come into a chair pose. Inhaling here, hands up, bottoms down. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, bring your hands to your heart center, and on the exhale, left elbow to the outside of those right thighs. Go ahead, look down at your toes, try to make sure they're still in line. Look down at your knees, try to make sure they're still in line, and you're working your thumbs towards your chest. Inhaling here, exhale. Next inhale brings you back to chair. Exhale brings your hands back to heart center. Inhale, exhale, right elbow to the outside of those left thighs. Toes together, knees together, hips reaching down, down, down. Maybe you can gaze over those left shoulders. One more breath. Your thighs should hopefully be talking to you. Coming back to your chair pose. Let's hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Go ahead and open your feet up about hips width distance. And let's grab hold of those big toes with your peace fingers, softening the knees as you look up. Exhale, forward fold. We just kind of went straight for it today, didn't we? Inhaling, halfway lift. Plant those hands down. Take those feet back to your plank. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opening up to the right side plank. Left hand comes up. Maybe your feet are stacked one in front of the other or one on top of the other. Holding those hips up high. Maybe you can gaze at the right hand, or if you really want to challenge yourself, gaze at the left hand. 3, 2, 1. Plant the left hand. Plant all those toes. Hold your plank here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling over left side plank. So again, your right foot can be in front of the left, or your right foot can be stacked on the left. Try not to lock out the left elbow. That puts a lot of pressure in your shoulder girdle. If you can, you look at your left fingertips. And if you want to juice it up, you look at your right fingertips. We want to keep our right hip reaching straight forward. Oftentimes, it ends up pointing towards the back of the room, which is not as much work for the core. Bring that right hand down, holding your plank here. The secret to balance is a nice and strong core. So we are getting our core nice and strong. Hover those knees above the mat, maybe just an inch for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's walk those knees in a little bit. Hold it down here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift those knees over towards the left. Hips are down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees back to center, over towards the right with the hips down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees towards the center. Walk those feet back. Here we are in plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Downward facing dog. One more breath. On your next inhale, bring that right foot forward. Come into a crescent lunge. So this time your left heel stays up. Hands are at your heart center to start out. Inhale here. Exhale. One more inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Bring those hands up. And then right hand back, left hand forward, twisting it out. We're going to take that right hand to the outside of that left thigh. Left hand's reaching up high. Maybe you gaze at your left heel or down through your right shoulder. Sink into that right knee. Releasing that right hand up, opening up, warrior two. So, tailbone's long, belly is in, shoulders are down and away from the ears. We're going to take that right elbow to your right thigh, reach that left hand forward to where the wall and the ceiling meet. We're one long line of energy from the outside of those fingertips on the left to the outside of those left feet. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to look down at those right toes. Tell yourself you can do this. Kick off that left foot. Maybe you come into a half moon on the right. If you want, you can use your block. It should be in the front of and just outside of the right foot. Left hand's reaching up high. You don't have to use the block. Your right fingertips can barely touch the mat, or you can bring your hands to heart center. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1. Ground those hands down. Bend that left knee behind the right. Join me back in this curtsy lunge like we did at the beginning. If you want to juice it up, bring your hands to your heart center for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant those hands down. Come to your standing splits. We should be warm enough for it. Then ground those left feet down. Right feet go back to meet it. Take your vinyasa. Now we get to do all of that on the other side. So when you are ready, go ahead, bring that left foot up just a bit for a nice stretch. Then shoot it forward, coming into your crescent lunge on the left. I love a good crescent lunge stretch for that right hip flexor. Your hands can be at your heart center if you're having trouble breathing, or it can be reaching up high. Really bend into that left knee. One more breath. Bring that left hand back. Maybe you gaze towards the left fingertips. Twisting this out. Now take the left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Right hand reaches up and behind you. Maybe see if you can gaze towards your left. Oh, that'd be your right heel. I don't know my left and right today. Unwinding this twist, left hand comes up, opening up, warrior two. Pull those shoulders down and away. Force yourself to relax even here. Inhale, exhale, left elbow to that left thigh as you reach the right hand forward. So you're one long line of energy out from the outside of that right foot all the way out through your right fingertips. If you can, gaze out those right fingers. It should feel good, so if it doesn't, don't do it. Now we're going to look down at those left big toes. Tell yourself I can do this. With a big inhale and belly's nice and strong, you kick off. Right foot is actively pressing into the imaginary wall behind you. Left hand can be holding on to a block, or it can be hovering off of the mat or at your heart center. Let's hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Grounding those hands down. Bring that right heel toward your bottom, right knee behind left knee, and hover this curtsy lunge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planting the hands down, standing splits, then take your vinyasa. Catch your breath. Now, guess what? We get to add all of those things together and make one fun sequence that's going to build some strength, mobility, and endurance. Sweet. The trifecta of awesomeness, right? So inhale, bring those right heels up. Bend the right knees. Reach the right heel towards your left shoulder, keeping those hips open, shoulders square. Bring those right fingertips up, and now maybe towards your heart center. Holding it here. And then maybe you think about flipping your dog. It's just a much more controlled way to flip your dog. Hold it here. Now, before we flip back over, bring that right knee to your right elbow, then flip it back. Shoot that right leg back up into the air, and then it comes forward into your warrior one. It's like a little bit of abs extra credit. Inhaling, your hands are at your heart center. Think to yourself, I can do this as we kick off into your airplane pose. Now you can have your block here in front of and just outside of the right leg if you want, as we open up half moon pose. Holding it here. Now we're going to go back to airplane pose. Open up half moon pose. Airplane pose. Half moon pose. Airplane. Half moon. Airplane. Standing splits. Woo! Bring that left heel in. Bring the left knee behind the right. Curtsy lunge. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming into your standing splits. Transition through airplane pose. Get those hammies nice and fired up. Opening up warrior 2. Straighten that right leg. Shift the hips back. Bring the hands forward. Come into your triangle pose. Don't lock that right knee. You can bring your hand to your shin, hand to a block behind your right foot, or you can try to grab the right big toe. One more. Now we're going to take that left hand down. Bring the left knee down. Slide that left foot out. Side plank on the left. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1. Grounding down everything. Take your vinyasa. Good job. That's how we linked it all together, right? Let's see if I can do that on the other side. So from here, we're going to take that left foot up into the air. Bend the left knee, left heel towards the right shoulder, opening up the hips as we keep the shoulders square. Elbow on the right is not locked. Take the left hand towards your heart and hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly with control, flip your dog. Remember, don't lock out your arm joints. That's balancing you. Before we flip all the way over, try to bring your left knee to your left elbow and then plant the left hand, left foot. Here we are in a plank pose. Downward facing dog. Bring that left foot forward. Come into your warrior 1. Inhale, bring your hands to your heart center. And on your exhale, you're going to say, I can do this. Then you're going to kick off airplane pose. This is the fun part. That block should be in front of and just outside of the left foot as we open up half moon on the left. Remember, you do not have to use this block at all. You can bring your fingertips to the mat or your hands never touch the mat. Closing off, airplane, open up, half moon. Airplane, half moon. Airplane, half moon. Your left butt cheek should be talking. Airplane. Let's do it one more. Half moon, airplane, standing splits. Bring that right heel towards your bottom, right knee behind left knee. Squat it down. Little bit of glute extra credit. Maybe hands to heart center for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant the hands, standing splits. Pretend you're doing a deadlift. Pull yourself up through airplane. Set that right foot down at the back of the mat. Warrior 2. Good job. Straighten that left leg. Shift the hips back. Bring the hands forward. Come into your triangle pose. Again, you can have your hands on a block on the outside of that left foot. You can have it on the inside too, whichever one helps you to open up a little better. You can grab hold of your left shin or you can grab hold of that left big toe. Just don't want to lock your left knee. Bring that right hand down. Bring that right knee down. Shift that right heel out towards the right. Picking up that left foot, join me in a right side plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Plant the hands, plant the feet. Do your vinyasa. Come down to your knees, then shift over towards your bottom. And let's do a little bit of core work before we close off the day. So if you have a block, grab it. If you don't, that's okay. We can do it without a block. Take your block, bring it to your heart center. This has become one of my new favorite core routines, and especially since it's the holidays, I'm wanting to do lots of core. So come into your boat pose with the knee bent. So the first thing we're going to do is like bicycles, but instead of it just being the legs and the arms going side to side, we're going to bring our arms out and backwards. So let's try that with the legs stable first for 5 on each side. Then we'll add bicycles with it. So arms out and forward to the right, back to center, left, center. That's one. Right, center, left, center. If you need to ground your feet, you can. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Now, let's add that with some bicycles. So, left foot's going to go out as we go towards the right. Back, left, back. Woo, right, left, that's 2. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Let's do a few more. Right, left. I think we can do 2 more from here. Right, left, last one. Right, left. Hallelujah. Bring those knees in. Give them a squeeze. So that worked. All of your stabilizing muscles in your core help to get your arms in. Now we're going to make really, really, really tiny, tiny balls of like our bodies, right? And we're going to try to take this block, which is on top of our shins right now, to underneath our calves. So inhaling, we're going to bring those balls, those knees really into your chest, extend those legs out like boat. Bring those knees into your chest, bring the block towards your chest. So here we go. Extend the legs out, block under your feet, extend the legs in, and then go back to boat. Let's do this 3 more times. Boat, ball, boat, ball, boat, ball, boat. Tiny ball, last one. Boat, ball, boat. Bring those knees into your chest. Holy moly, that was awesome. Go ahead, cross those knees, crisscross applesauce, or you can do Sukhasana, easy seat, left foot in, right foot in front, and just come to a nice seated position, trying to catch your breath. We're going to take that right hand behind us, left hand to the right knee, gaze over that right shoulder. Let's do that on the other side. Left hand back, right hand to the left knee, gaze over that left shoulder. Bring both hands to both knees. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow seated. So rounding the spine a whole bunch back, and then shove the chest forward like a little bit of a back bend. Let's do that 2 more times. Last one. Good job. Bring those knees together. Extend those legs out long. Let's do 1 forward fold because your hamstrings will probably feel this. Coming on up. We're going to do our Shavasana as a really, really gentle back bend. So take this block. As we lay down onto our backs, put the block underneath your sacrum. That's that flat part at the top of your bottom. Hands out wide like a T. If you want, you can bring your feet wide, knees narrow to help support, and internally rotate the hips ever so slightly. And just enjoy this nice, beautiful, it's a little bit of a back bend. It's called a supported bridge. But it's also a fabulous way to release the low back because I bet it might be a little bit tired after our fun sequence today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun, maybe tried a couple of new ways to get into and out of different poses. I hope you burned a few calories, got a little stronger, and of course, built some mobility. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jennifer Dixon with Thrive Yoga and Wellness and Thrive Online, and I'd love to invite you into our online community. It's thriveyogaandwellness.com/thrive-online, where you get to have practices just like these and more inside our community. And even better, we have regular live virtual practices where you get on the computer with me and you can turn on your camera and I can give you real-time feedback. So it's all the benefits of practicing in a studio with the comfort of being at home. Thanks again for watching. My name is Jennifer Dixon. I can't wait to